What is up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to another live episode of Breakfast of Champions. I'm your host, Daniel, and this is the channel called At Sales Remastered. And today I got some fire for you. But before I even get into that, let me ask you a question. Have you lit up the thumbs up button? Have you commented what state you're tuning in from? Because if you have not, that really helps me in return for all the value and all the tips that I'm about to give you, that's going to help you pay your bills and help you fill up your bank account and help you get through the challenges that you face every single day. What I'm asking in return, guys, is just light up that thumbs up button. Please comment in the comment section. Let me know what state you're tuning in from. And throughout the live stream, I would greatly appreciate the engagement. The engagement, it basically plays with these algorithm games, and that's how your channel on any platform is going to basically grow. And so I understand and I value the engagement. Each and every single one of you, I value that. So for those that consistently engage, just like last week and the week before, I'm going to be contacting you randomly and hooking you up. I'm going to give you some free products. I'm going to give you a couple $100 worth of value, and some I'll even dedicate a full 30-minute session for free to help you get to that next stage. And so in this episode, what we're going to talk about is sales techniques. You don't even need to be a mortgage banker. These sales techniques are really going to tap into human emotions, right? Like it's going to tap into what they call emotional intelligence, or EQ. And I believe that by understanding emotions, you'll be prepared to sell far more than what you're actually selling today. And so if it's important for you to make money through sales, or if that's the only way that you're able to generate income is through sales, I think first we need to understand the science of selling. Makes sense? So don't forget to light up that thumbs up button. Please comment in the comment section below and let me know what state you're tuning in from. I got Facebook, I got YouTube, I forgot to put on IG. I'm about to bring on IG right now. And any platform that you're watching me on right now, the engagement, it just basically puts me on other people's feeds so I can, be all up in their grill, if that makes sense. So first off, before I go into the episode, I want to give a reminder that yesterday I announced the top 3 winners, the top 3-point earners for the 30K giveaway challenge. And so I sent out an email announcing who those 3 people were. Congratulations to you 3. You guys definitely implemented and executed the rules of the game, and you scored more than anyone else who participated. And so there was about 530 people that participated, which is mind-blowing. It's definitely something that humbles me, because I get a real good idea of how many loan officers and how many salespeople just in general don't have the right, resources around them. They don't have the manager that's coaching them. They don't have the sales trainer that has the experience. They don't have, the proper foundation or the proven paths to reference as they're building their, empire. And so I'm grateful to have all the engagement, and I'm grateful to have helped these top 3 point earners by hooking them up and giving them access to the content that I sell online. And so yesterday I actually announced, because it did so well, that I'm extending it again to the 10th. So on the 10th, not tomorrow, but next Friday, I'm going to announce 3 more winners who are also going to win the same courses. First prize is the Sales Boost Camp. Second prize is the Secret Formula. And then third prize is Closing Secrets 101. And on May 10th, I'm going to go and announce again. So if you haven't already enrolled into the game, there's a link inside the chat box that gives you a link to the 30K challenge. If you follow me on Instagram, it's actually on my profile. It's the link is in my bio. And this is definitely something that's pretty fun, and it's absolutely free to play. If anything, this actually earns your free ticket to the top. So I hope to see you inside the running. And when I make the announcement on May 10th, I hope to announce your name for the winner of the Sales Boost Camp. So let's begin. Now, going back to the science of selling, and this is going to be some real mind-blowing stuff. And the best part about it, guys, is that you can literally apply it to anything. It doesn't need to be to prospects. It can also be to your referral partners. It could be to the realtor. It could be your partner in life, like your mate, your wife, your husband, however you swing. And it can also work with management. And so I'm going to actually break it down to all 3 of those, because these are 3 components that we ultimately rely on that are external to us, right? So we rely on our customers to buy from us, or our leads to turn into prospects, to then turn into customers, which then finalizes a transaction, and that yields me income. And so that's very important to me, right? So that should be important to you. And then your referral partners, these are like realtors, CPAs, lawyers, insurance agents, whoever's funneling you business. It could be even past clients. Again, our day kind of is determined based on how strong those relationships are, or at least our success is. And then, of course, our management team, the system that we basically report to, right? And so there's a way to persuade each and every single one of them. And I'm so excited. I'm going to be able to kind of break free from the lingo of mortgage lending and really kind of teach you through empathy how decisions are being made. And there's, of course, is that cliche saying that goes, people buy with emotion, but then they justify it with logic, right? I've always heard that throughout my sales career. Have you heard that? If you have, comment below, say, yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah, I believe in it. And the reason why I believe that stands true is because ultimately what we do is we try to communicate a message to our prospects so that they like us. Like is an emotional feeling. Does that make sense? Like is an emotional feeling that leads to rapport. And so this is why we need to connect with our prospects, our partners, our management team on an emotional level. And then we need to justify it through logic in terms of why they should buy our message, or why they should send us leads, or why they should do business with us. Does that make sense? So in essence, it's basically understanding the like versus need. And I think that a lot of salespeople unfortunately fail because they go in trying to basically stress the need. And if you're trying to stress the need too soon without the person first liking you, they're going to not really absorb the message as they would as if they did like you. Does that make sense? So it's basically taking information from a stranger. Of course, we take it with a grain of salt. But when it comes down to actually taking information from someone that we trust, what do? We listen to it. We give it credit, right? Someone that we like, we will actually probably listen to them over some stranger who we don't really know, and we believe that they got a biased opinion, kind of like a salesman. Does that sound familiar? And so what I want to do is I want to talk about the science of how people, right? It could be people in general. So this could be your prospect, this could be your referral partner, this could be your manager. And by understanding how they react and how they make their decisions, I think you can position yourself more favorably to get whatever it is you want. And so again, really pay mind to that. It's understanding the like versus need. A lot of salespeople go in with it in reverse, and they try to sell with the notion or belief system that hey, I got a product that you need. Here, get it. This is the price. This is the term, right? This is how much it costs. You should get it right now. You need this. And then try to earn the trust through objection handling or through the rebuttals. They try to then earn the trust and try to get that person to like them. But the hack of it is just to flip that. And so the idea is to say things that make the person first react with an emotion that they like the message, or they like the end result, right? And so the end result is something that they like because it has to do something for them. And so there's another abbreviation that's pretty popular. It's called WIIFM. Do you know what that means? Comment below if you know what WIIFM means. Basically what it is that whenever we go into a situation where we have to dedicate our attention, or we have to make a specific decision, what really roots behind that decision is what's in it for me. Make sense? And this is just how we kind of calculate data, because if you think about it as a consumer, as just an everyday person, I want you to pay attention to how many times you were advertised today, just today. So as you go out and you hear advertisements on the radio, you see advertisements on social media, or maybe you hear advertisements through podcasts, whatever it is, or even on TV, or you see it basically illustrated through banner ads, or you see it illustrated through magazines or what have you. There's just all kinds of things that are trying to grab at your attention, right? And so as humans living in this digital living in this digital era, we have kind of we have kind of wired our mind in a way where our attention quickly deletes whatever we think is not even for us. And so in other words, we will ignore everything that we believe does not have anything for us in return. So if we ask, well, what's in it for me to give this thing attention? Nothing. Well, then away with you, because I got 999 things that are trying to grab at my attention and trying to pull at my attention. Right? And so now you guys understand why it's important to figure out real quick, how can I get this person to like me, whether it's a consumer, a partner, or my manager? Because that's step number one, is that you need to first position yourself to be likable, because likable generates trust. Trust generates loyalty. Loyalty generates this relationship where your information no longer is coming from a stranger. Does that make sense? Now you might be thinking like, hey, but D, you know what I mean? Like how am I supposed to build up trust, loyalty, and all these great, wonderful things within a matter of minutes? And I'm going to share with you how, but I need you to first absorb why it's important to flip that and make sure you go in the sequential order of first getting them to like you and your message. And then we will move over to figuring out how they need it, because the like is the emotion. So people buy with emotion, right? So they buy because they like you, and then they justify it through logic. So basically they're convincing themselves that they need it. We are helping them, of course, right? And so if you think about anything that you've ever bought, typically you're buying it because it relieves a specific desire. And so there's this kind of this rush of dopamine, right? It's that adrenaline rush that feels good. And this is why consumers today are actually addicted to buying. They fucking love spending it. If you don't believe me, look at majority of your consumers' bank accounts. They are check to check. And I don't know if you ever do, collect bank statements or whatnot, but you ever get nosy? Like you ever go through, man, don't lie. Do you ever go through someone's appraisal and you're trying to see how they live, and then you go through people's kind of like bank statements, just kind of see what they spend their money on? And it's a valid question, right? Because we're trying to figure out like, man, how do you have so much in credit card debt? How do you have so much just basically in income also, but there's no money left? And so you're trying to kind of backtrack it, right? And this could be something that we could use for our own selves, but really analyze kind of like where the money is going, where the money is being spent on, right? And so people as consumers, when we decide to buy something, it's to fulfill a need. And we as humans love to buy shit. It's just instinct now. Because it's kind of, not to go too deep on you, but it's a primitive instinct to survive. So we feel that we need this to survive. I feel like I need that that Ted Baker suit to survive, right? As I'm sporting the Ted Baker suit, right? So, or we believe that we need this car to survive, or we need this house to survive. Whatever it is, we will justify it to ourselves and feel an emotional gravitational pull towards that product or that service. And so by understanding how you react, then you can better prepare yourself to really kind of foresee how your prospects, how your partners, and how your managers is going to react, right? So going back, I think that by understanding that in itself, you can then move on to the second phase. The second phase is that understanding now how people give their attention and invest it. And how I've found that they'll pay more attention to is by understanding two things. Number one is the power of what's called neophilia. Neophilia basically means you love things new. Like, ooh, there's that new thing. Ooh, I love new things, right? And all of us are wired this way. However, there's a balance between neophilia and familiarity. Familiarity is basically, like there's some people who don't like things new, but they like a newer version of things they already know. Does that make sense? There's this one saying that says, people don't know what they like what they know. It's real deep, right? It sounds like some Confucius shit, but I promise you, it's actually very, very true. And what they're talking about is that we, again, going a little bit deeper in the psychology of science, we as humans relied on familiarity to protect ourselves. So it's an instinctual habit. This is something that just happens on autopilot. This is our subconscious at play. And it was wired in our heads, and it's evolved since we were cavemen. So let me give you an example. So back in the day, right, like when we didn't have to hunt for sales, we had to hunt for food, and we were fighting animals to go get our food. Does that make sense? We had to live off the land. We were fucking naked and afraid and shit. But where I'm getting at, through those primitive days, we relied on familiarity to understand that that moving thing or that particular plant or that source of nuts and fruit would not hurt us, or there was no, right? It's kind of like memory. And so we utilize familiarity even up until today, because if we're not familiar with the road, we feel kind of on guard, right? So if you took an exit off the, you took the wrong exit, you're in a different part of town, you've never been there before, immediately we're out of our realm. Does that make sense? And we're looking for things that are familiar. Pay attention to that, right? You're looking for things that are familiar, whether it looks like a freeway or a landmark or whatever it is. We look for things that are familiar because it then makes us comfortable. But when you understand the difference between neophilia and how you have to balance it with familiarity, you'll then figure out how to actually capture someone's attention. Does that make sense? So if you think about the neophilia, like the liking of new, the addiction to new things, we are wired this way, right? If you pay attention to a lot of the movies that are coming out now, all it is a remake. It's a part 2 of something, or it's the revision, like the Avengers Endgame, right? Like that's damn near part 9, right? Of that particular series, but it's familiarity. And so you see everything. You see Iron Man, you see Thor, right? You see Hulk. And so these are just familiar things, and you're just fucking blown away because all of them are together, and that's familiarity. But people will line up for days, spend $30, right? $50 for a ticket just to go see it. That's a damn 3-hour movie, boo-boo. 3 hours, because we are addicted to new things. Now pay attention to when Apple releases a new phone, or if you're not an Apple lover, and I know there's some of you who don't love Apple because Apple's not cool, but if you're whatever, your smartphone, your device, your laptop, your you know what I mean, like your tablet, whatever it is, when you think about when they release something new, there's kind of that temptation deep down inside, right? Like, oh, I think I need the new one. No, you don't, boo-boo. You want the new one because you foo-foo, number one, and I'm foo-foo too. I get it. I'm all about it, right? I love new things. I love it. But where I'm getting at is this is just how we react as consumers. So we love new things. We love new updates. We love new advances of things that we are familiar with. Make sense? So there's that balance. It's new, but it's still something that you're familiar with. And so I'm going to kind of show you how to translate this within your message, but you just need to understand the science of decision making from the people who are not us, because at the end of the day, we need their attention. The attention is going to be how we get them to like us. And then when we get them to like us, we'll get them to feel that they need our product or service, or they need to comply with our request. Get it? And so how do we get the attention is we show them like, hey, I got this new thing. It's super sweet. It's super cool. Watch, check this out. Now there's that curiosity, right? So I was able to grab your attention from the 999 other things that are grabbing at your attention and fighting me to get your attention, all because I said, hey, I got this new thing. It's super sweet. Well, what do you got, right? And once I grab that attention, then my job is to make sure you like me before I talk about anything that influences you to buy from me. I'm not going to tell you like you don't know me, like you're not at that point where you like me yet. It's kind of like dating, right? And I'm sure a lot of us have dated. Do you guys understand this so far? Comment below. Let me make sure that you guys are absorbed in this, because this is powerful. There's no other channel out there right now that is talking about this right now. And why I know this like the back of my hand is because I had to rely on these techniques in order to survive from a young age. I needed to hustle, right? For those of you who've been following me, you understand that back in the day, I used to sell everything from pogs to lunch tickets. So I had enough money to go to the mall to play Mortal Kombat. This is way before Mortal Kombat was out. Man, this is the original Mortal Kombat. Man, comment below if you used to play Mortal Kombat. You used to put your quarter on the screen and shit. Stop lying, man. That was you. But where I'm getting at is when we understand the science of first capturing attention and then what to do with that attention in the proper way, you will automate your sales cycle, not only to your consumers, but also establish loyalty and preferred relationships with your partners and also management team. So I'm going through the science first because I need you to understand kind of the background, and then I'm going to show you how it applies to each and every single one: consumer, partners, and then managers. So let's start off with consumers. So whatever product it is you sell, whatever services you sell. I know a lot of us that are watching this right now, we sell, we sell financial services, right? But if you really think about it, it's nothing. There's no product you get to take home. The consumers and homeowners, they buy a term from us and they'll spend $3,000, $4,000, sometimes even more if they buy it down, right? And I'm using this example, but you could sell anything. And what's different about us is they don't get to take anything home, right? We don't put it in a bag and give it to them and then give them a receipt per se. And then they go home, they go open it and they play with it, right? Like all we did was technically change their term. They never actually get to hold anything besides the copy of the documents that the notary gives them. But how do we get them to a point where they're willing to spend thousands of dollars with us and they don't even get to take anything home? How you do it is you follow the exact science, right? First, you have to capture their attention. And who are we capturing attention from? It's our everyday consumer. And we're better prepared to do this if we understand the art of empathy, meaning that this particular consumer, number one, is being pitched by every single loan officer, every single business, every single advertisement out there. So all they do is get pitched at. Again, it's kind of like dating. So these prospects are kind of like the hottest chick at the bar or hottest guy at the bar, however you swing, boo-boo, I don't judge you. So whether they're the hottest person and everyone's trying to hit on them, everyone's trying to buy them a drink, everyone's trying to flatter them, everyone's trying to win some time to talk to them. Hey, boo-boo, what's your number? Right? Hey, are you here with anybody? Whatever it is, you have to put yourself in their shoes. And so if they feel like they're the hottest person at the bar because everyone's trying to approach them, showing them that new shiny thing, then we have to understand, okay, well, the likelihood of me doing the exact same thing is going to be is going to more than likely result with the same exact response that they're giving everyone else. And when we look at it as a consumer standpoint, and we actually start paying attention to the advertisements, because again, we as salesmen, we kind of appreciate that shit, right? We kind of like the marketing. We look at it like, okay, that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that was a pretty good marketing stunt. So we look at it kind of with a little bit of a kind of tainted lens. I don't even know. I said the word taint. Don't judge me. I said taint. But what I'm talking about is kind of like a tinted lens. Like it's just a different, kind of more of a biased view. But we sometimes forget. It's kind of like when we talk about our services to somebody who doesn't know the lingo, but we're using long, threatening words. It's because you're doing it without empathy. But where I'm getting at is that when you look at it from their point of view and you understand that everyone wants their business, what makes you special? That's when you have to kick in and really play that WIIFM, right? So what's in it for them? Why would they listen to you versus everyone else? Because again, they're the hottest chick at the bar, the hottest dude at the bar. Again, however you swing, boo-boo, I don't judge you. But where I'm getting at is that if I need to get this person's attention, number one is I need to understand neophilia, right? I need to understand something, basically do something new, something that's different from everyone else. And then I need to capture their attention by getting them to like me, right? And then also capturing the attention and driving the attention to somehow figure out what that person needs so that I can deliver the solution and then they can buy it through making a logical decision of saying, you know what, D, man, you're so right, boo-boo. Like, this is exactly what I need. Man, you're the best, bro. Like, thank you, right? We need to get them to that point, right? And so if this person was, let's say, walking down the street and it was our job to capture their attention, the best way to capture someone's attention is to make believe it was meant to happen, right? Like, you got reason, boo-boo. Like that, like this isn't just some out of the blue solicitation, right? Like out of the blue solicitations are people that knock on your door that were not invited, that try to sell you termite service, solar panels, or a quote on fake grass. Right? Unwanted solicitations are those emails that you get that you never signed up for and you just junk them or unsubscribe. Uninvited solicitations are also the robocalls that you get. Like, who is this? Why does this number keep calling me? I didn't ask for this. So in order to separate you from having that same effect to your consumers, you need to kind of do it in a new way, right? And this is where neophilia comes in. But if we do it in a new way, guess what? We stand out, don't we? Not only that, but we also are pulling at the emotional strings of the consumer because why? Because they like new shit, don't they? So, okay, so cool, D. I make noise in a different way and I approach him in a completely new way. Then what? Well, then you got to understand the basics of what's in it for them. And so if you approach them in a new way and you captured a piece of their attention, then you start talking about what's in it for them. But you don't give it away. You're not, you know what I mean? You're not the hoe at the bar. You're the hottest chick at the bar. Does that make sense? You're not the hoe at the bar. You're the hottest dude at the bar. Again, boo-boo, I don't judge you. Swing the way you swing. But where I'm getting at is you don't just exactly drop your pants and as like most salesmen do. Is like, hey man, I got that free service. Hey man, I got no appraisal fee. Hey man, I got the lowest interest rate. We're the lowest price competitor in this entire industry. Like, get the fuck away from me. You sound like a damn advertisement. Infomercial, move. Does that make sense? These are how consumers are responding. It's because we're giving it away too easily. But what if I went in a different way? I practiced the art of new, grabbed your attention, made you like me. In the process of making you like me, I figured out exactly what you need, right? Because I need to go a step above the newness. I need to go a step above you liking me. I need to penetrate your mind, boo-boo. I need to get in there and fucking just, I need to get all up in your emotions. Right? I know it sounds a little weird. Hey, comment below, man. Like, let me know if this is resonating. Like, do you guys even understand this? Is it making sense? And is it lighting up a light bulb and like, oh yeah, I'm getting hung up on, or people don't want to talk to me, or people don't want to call me back because I sound like every other hungry motherfucker trying to approach the hottest chick at the bar, the hottest dude at the bar. Again, boo-boo, I ain't judging. You swing the way you swing. But comment below. Let me know that this is making sense. And so from a consumer standpoint, if I could figure out what's in it for you, right? Like, so what's in it for you on this particular live stream is that you're going to be able to really understand how to overcome your challenges. The upside for you is that you're going to make more sales. The upside for you is you're going to make more income. The upside for you is you're going to have more job security. Upside is more confidence, more freedom, more flexibility, more power. That's your upside, and that's why you're tuning in right now in the live stream. So I've already figured out what's in it for you, but I'm gonna make you like me by sounding a little bit different. I'm not gonna come up here in some nice suit. Well, I did come here in some nice suit, didn't I? No, but I'm not coming here in some nice suit at all. Hey, how you doing? I love to talk to you about it. I'm not doing that shit, man. I'm being me. So I'm making noise in a different world, and I'm showing you an example if I've used it to capture your attention. And this is why you see my content. I'm just putting it out there. So I'm grabbing your attention, even though there's 999 other marketers, there's 999 other influencers, other options that give you sales training, but none of them give it to you like this. None of them deliver in this type raw method that speaks to you on an on an even level. I almost said evil level. I'm not evil, boo-boo. Don't be scared. But what I'm getting at is that when you understand the art of persuasion, you can literally make people do the things that you want them to do, and you can have fun with it. Again, it's all based on human psychology, like how we make our decisions, what influences us, and how we actually press forward. Is that making sense, guys? So comment below. Let me know that this is really sinking in. If you really adopt these practices, you're going to have so much of a greater return on the time that you're putting in, because I'm most certain that you're putting in 8 to 9 hours per day with one common goal, and that's to make sales. That's to earn trust. That's to earn loyalty. That's to make money, right? If I'm wrong, comment below and be like, yo, D, I'm not there to make sales, bro. I'm here for the base salary. I'm here for the minimum wage. I'm here for the fucking free AC, the cable, and the cool looking business cards that I get when I sign up. And if that's you, boo-boo, again, I don't judge, man. Like, you do you. But at the end of the day, most of us here are actually doing this to get some sort of return. And so if you practice these skills, you're going to be able to increase that. Now, going to the next type of individual, which is your referral partners. So I'm going to use an example that I know a lot of us here can relate to, but this type of approach can be applied to any type of referral partner. So you could be an account executive that's signing up businesses to use your electricity. You could be, going around, selling services that your referral partners could be anything. It could be photographers, wedding planners, right? It could be whatever it is. You rely on a fellow business partner to send you access to more prospects, more leads. And the reason why I want to use this as an example is because I believe a lot of us that are watching right now have a difficult time in getting the attention of the referral partners to even establish a relationship and turn it into something that is fruitful. So comment below if that sounds like you. If it sounds like, man, yeah, I'm having some challenges getting through these fucking realtors, man. These realtors are fucking foo-foo, bro. Like, they don't want to talk to me. They're always trying to dodge me. Man, it just seems like I'm chasing more prospects, bro. And if that's you, comment below, because I got some answers for you. Again, like what we're going to do with consumers, all we're going to do is really kind of dissect the mindset of the individual that we're trying to approach. And in this particular scenario, it's the realtor. And so let's take a step back and really break down the realtor. And I'm going to show you that these realtors, these referral partners, ain't nobody that you should fear, boo-boo. There's no one that you should fear. You shouldn't feel intimidated to walk to them, because who the fuck are they? They're just like us, right? There's nothing special about them. And they just establish business. But we put in this kind of this belief system that, oh man, they're the greatest thing, man. I bet you they walk on water. And I bet you they got the greatest lies. Oh, I better please them. Man, they are the hottest chick at the bar, or the hottest dude at the bar. Again, boo-boo, I ain't judging you. They're the hottest person in the room, right? So I need to make sure they like me, because only they can give me all the business that I want. Only they can send me business. And we kind of put ourselves in this trance that then kind of makes us beat our own selves up if they're not playing nice with us, or they're not trying to give us any play or give us any business. So comment below right now if you've ever walked into a broker shop or a referral partner shop and you didn't belong there. And you knew you didn't belong there, right? You got them stares and shit, like people giving you that look like you just farted. But where I'm getting at is, if you understand why there's that reaction, then you just simply need to adapt to get a different reaction. Does that make sense? So one of the common things, or one of the common problems that we have as salesmen approaching our referral partners, is we're walking on eggshells. We're damn near at a job interview 24/7 with these people, aren't we? We got to fucking sit upright, right? Shit. Hey, how are you? Firm handshakes and shit. Like, man, how you really establish a relationship is you be different from everyone else. And what I'm talking about everyone else is that realtor, that referral partner is also the hottest person at the bar, and they're getting hit on by every other LO that's just like you, by every other business that's just like you. Make sense? And so if we stayed looking at it from a third party point, looking in, we'll realize, okay, well, if I'm dissecting the decision habits or the decision-making habits of the realtor or these referral partners, how are they usually making the decisions? So all we can go off of is what we already experience. And what we experience is no callbacks, never want to meet, never want to send us business. Right? They already have a partner. And so we already know these objections. We already know the reasons as to why we can't make an official connection or relationship with them. But who here actually pays attention to those responses and then revises their approach in a way where it addresses those responses, right? So if you're commonly hearing that, hey D, I already got a referral partner. Hey D, I'm okay. I'm already taken care of. Well, why wouldn't you refine your message? And saying, hey man, I know you already got a referral partner in place, and I'm not trying to damage that relationship. If anything, I just want to make sure you would be a good candidate for a relationship with us. Now I've just flipped it, right? And so instead of me letting the realtor or the referral partner tell me that they're taken care of, I'm already insinuating that they must be taken care of, and I'm not trying to, hinder upon that relationship. If anything, I just want to make sure they're a good fit for me. Oh shit. Now we just flipped the table. Now I'm not interviewing with this guy or that girl. They're actually earning their time with me. Make sense? And you'll be shocked that oftentimes the reason why you're having most challenge with connecting with these realtors is because your approach is all wrong. Much like consumers and much like what you'll find out with managers, everyone's busy. Right? And so everyone's busy, and when we give a hint of attention, we quickly are actually really looking for reasons to either delete or proceed, right? Stop listening to the message. No, this is not for me. And then move on to the next, because again, there's 999 other things that are pulling at our attention, right? And so when we look into something, or when we get approached by something, we're quickly looking for a reason whether or not we should continue on that engagement. And so the reason why I say this is because a lot of you, and please own up to it, comment below. You don't even need to say, yeah, I'm fucking up like that, D. Just hit number 1, right? Hit number 1 if you agree. So when you call your realtor partners, when you call your referral partners, or you're soliciting, trying to generate referral partners, because these fuckers aren't even your partners yet, right? So when you're trying to generate that new business and you call them and your first sentence is, hey, my name is Daniel. I'm with New American Funding, or I'm with such and such lending institution, or whatever it is, right? Like, first off, I said just that sentence alone, I've triggered a guard. I've given that person who's listening to me reason to stop the conversation and push me away. Why? Is because I said my full name, meaning I'm a stranger to this motherfucker. Instead of saying, hey, this is Daniel. I said, hey, Jim, this is Daniel Niekart with New American Funding, right? Makes no sense because number one, now that hello just turned into a solicitation. That way of introducing myself just reminded them I'm a stranger. And then finally, when I said New American Funding, they're immediately already, now they know for certain that this is a tap dance. Like, oh, fuck, man, this is my 9th LO call today, and I haven't even made my coffee yet, boo-boo. I'm done. I'm good, right? So oftentimes what we're doing, and we don't even know it, is we're putting them on guard so that they don't even receive our message. Why? Because we didn't understand the science of first figuring out how we can make them like us, how we can open them up so that they can hear more of our message, how we have that one new thing that is going to enable us to give them what it is they need, something that's familiar to them. Make sense? Again, people like familiarity, but people also like new. So if you say, hey, my name is Daniel Niekart, I'm not familiar with that name. I'm familiar with Daniel, right? Hey, I'm with New American Funding. I'm not familiar with that company. I am familiar with my referral partner. So what's a better way, right? So if I was approaching a realtor by the name of Jim, my call would be like, hey, Jim, Ray wanted me to give you a call. He wanted me to notify you. We got a campaign that's going on right now in Riverside County. It's by a couple of the open houses that I know you have. And I know you already got a referral partner and everything. But if anything, I just want to make sure you'd be a good candidate for us to send business to. So I'm not trying to impede on your relationships. If anything, I'm actually going to be in your area visiting a couple of my other referral partners. And I thought I'd stop by just to quickly introduce myself. I can't stick around for that long. So if anything, it'll just be like 2 minutes. Are you going to be in the office? Wow, right? Now it's just fucking, why? Is because it practiced everything that I just went over in terms of the science of understanding the decision making. So I've played with their emotions so much just within that sentence. So let's backtrack and kind of go through it like play by play, right? And so I said, hey, Jim, my name's Daniel. Right? I didn't say my full name. Ray wanted me to give you a call. So likelihood of Jim knowing a Daniel and a Ray is very high. So now these things are familiar. Get it? And so, hey, he wanted me to give you a call. We're doing a campaign in Riverside County. Riverside County. I'm familiar with these words. And I know you I know you have a referral partner. I'm not trying to impede or anything. If anything, I just want to make sure you'd be a good fit for us to send leads to you. Holy shit. So this guy doesn't want to sell me. He's not asking me to become his new partner, his new best friend. And if anything, he wants to see if I'd be a good candidate. Fuck, I'm a good candidate. I'm a grade A realtor. My name's Jim the Realtor. Does that make sense? I'm good. What do you mean you can send me leads? What? You know I got an open house in Riverside? Man, this dude knows me? Who's Ray? Right? All these questions are going in. But what have I done is I've simply captured the attention, planted seeds over things that they like and are familiar with. And I'm talking about things that are new while using things that they already are accustomed to. New campaign, right? Hey, you might be a good candidate for our campaign. We may be able to send you leads. Shit, I'm man. Does that make sense? So there's all these wheels turning with this realtor. What do you think the realtor is going to say? They're not going to say, no, I'm okay, I'm already taken care of. Why? Because I didn't put it out there like that. It wasn't an offer. Shit was already in motion, boo-boo. It's just moving with or without you. You're going to jump on or you're not. It's going to happen, right? So keep that in mind because at the end of the day, these referral partners, man, you don't need to be intimidated by them. They're hungry salesmen just like us. We just need to understand through empathy where their focus is on. And just like any other business, just like any other entrepreneur, just like any other salesman, their focus is on the money. Makes sense? So like I said, your referral partners doesn't have to be a realtor. Your referral partners doesn't need to be, a CPA. It could be a business, right? Like you go to a business at the end of the day, the bottom line is how can they make money from you? Because again, what's in it for them? right? That's an important rule. What's in it for me, and how are you different? How are you new, I should say, right? Because not too many people like things that are different. They like things that are new though, right? So, hey, I got this new campaign, or hey, I got this new method, or I got this new ad that's going out within your area. Whatever it is, it's new, but then it's back to the familiarity, right? People love new shit, so just play with that emotion. So let me know if this is making sense before I go on to the third pillar, which is management. If this is making sense, guys, comment below. Make sure you lit up that thumbs up button, because it really helps me spread this gospel and these valuable lessons to other people who need it just like us. And so finally, let's go over to managers. So why do we need managers on our side? Why do we need to sell managers? We already sold managers when we got our job, right? We already sold managers when he agreed to let me work here. But it's a constant sale with your manager. And here's a few reasons why, and you could probably list out a few if you comment them in the comment section. But when you think about, why would I need to sell my manager? Well, you need to sell your manager because you need your manager on your side. You need them to, and no manager will ever admit that they play favorites, right? No manager will ever admit that they treat a top producing LO a little bit differently than the lower producing LO, because this is equal opportunity. Does that make sense? So there's that compliance feature, and I get it, man. Does that make sense? But we, as salesmen, we understand, like, man, you like him better because he outproduces me, or you like him better because he closes more deals for me. But if we are fucking willing enough to admit, of course he does. That's what a fucking business does, bro. Like, bottom line, man, if you wanna understand the fastest way to get whatever fuck you want in a business, become a top producer. Watch. So where I'm getting at is, the reason why you want to sell your manager is because even if you're not a top producer, or even if you are a mediocre level, or maybe a beginner, you need your manager to be on your side. If your manager's on your side, their authority, their access within the system, their familiarity with the logistics of the process, the information that they have behind the scenes. I'm talking about from like KPI to marketing ads or marketing sources, what states are having the highest return. Because again, keep in mind that your manager has more of an eagle view. So they're going to know what products are the hottest. FHAs are fucking banging right now. Does that make sense? Streamlines are killing it right now. Or VA cash out in this state is killing right now. You need access to that information. But you also need to sell your manager so that they position you more favorably on the operations side, right? So how do you do that? Do I tell on every loan processor to my manager, hey, they're not listening to me, they're not replying back to my customer? No, we don't do it that way, right? We do it in a little bit more of a covert and more special way, in a way that actually leaves you in a good light, but you're not throwing the loan processor underwater. Because if you throw people underwater and all you do is bitch and complain, you're just going to be viewed at as noise. Make sense? So again, using empathy to dissect the mindset of a manager. What does a manager go through? A manager goes through a lot. They have to deal with different personality types, and based on how well they can manage those personality types will determine that manager's income, or determine that manager's success, right? And so go a little bit deeper, and in the everyday process, in the everyday grind of dealing with different personalities, they're going to favor one who is a little bit more efficient, who understands, puts two and two together, and just makes shit happen. But you're going to notice that they feel a certain kind of way when they run into maybe an employee who just does nothing but bitch, moan, and see the bad side of things. They're not creative enough to find the silver lining. Right? And so you don't want to put in that place. You don't want to constantly go up to your manager and say, hey, this is a problem, we should fix this because we think that we're innovative and that's what we should do as employees. When actually you're hurting yourself, because you shouldn't say, hey, what you guys got here is broken. Because keep in mind that fucking manager needs to, with a biased opinion, stand up for that process, tell you that process is number one, and tell you that process was operating before you got here. So if you don't like it, you can get out. So the last thing you want to do is put yourself in that negative spotlight, because there will come a time where you need that manager's approval. You need that manager's buy-in, whether it's to let you go on vacation, whether it's to let you call in sick, right? Whatever it is, you need to position yourself more favorably. And so from a salesman standpoint, you may be doing it for pricing exceptions, or you may be doing it to understand what the top producers in that division are doing different from everyone else, so you can get a sneak peek of what actions you need to put in place today so you can get the same results. Make sense? Also, they could tell you how to do things more efficiently on the back end, because they do it over and over and over and over again. Because of that repetition, they understand kind of how to automate the process. And so what we find hard and difficult is sometimes we can't get our manager to tell us these things. Well, just like we can't get our prospects to tell us things that we know, or just like we can't get realtors or referral partners to tell us things that we want them to tell us, we need to first get them to like us, right? And so we do the same exact concept. We make noise in a new way, but in a familiar way, right? So in a new way. So instead of going to bitch about that loan processor who hasn't touched your file in 4 days, come across in a new manner, right? Something simple as, hey boss, I try to reach out to Jennifer, because again, no one likes Jennifer, right? Hey boss, I tried to reach out to Jennifer 3 days ago, see below, no response. I have a call with this client at 12 o'clock and I just want to help get this moving forward. Who do you suggest I go to? That's it. Now I've just delegated that responsibility to my manager. My manager can then take it on and then CC whoever, get in contact with the processing lead, get in contact with the processor. And because that manager's name pops out, like, oh shit, that's management, then Jennifer is more than likely going to respond. Fucking Jennifer. You need to see my manager's name, Jennifer. Damn you. And so what I'm getting at is there are certain ways to make sounds, right? Like but alternatively, I could be like, hey boss, Jennifer's mean. Man, she doesn't ever reply back. She doesn't call my clients. Now all I'm doing is bitching, right? And the last thing my manager would have time for is to listen to me bitch. And so instead of me bitching, I'm coming together with a solution, but I'm not throwing Jennifer under the bus as bad as I do want to. We got to be a little bit more classy because we're making noise in a different way and we're positioning ourselves as a professional. And so if my manager sees me as an efficient worker, a worker bee, right? Never cause any problems, never bitch, never moan. All I do is I'm organized and I execute. Well, guess what I'm gonna get from my manager? I'm gonna get preferential treatment. I'm gonna get those, the leads that call in and they need to give it to somebody. I'm gonna come first to mind. I'm gonna position myself more favorably to get the best treatment from my manager. Why? Is because I'm efficient, because I understand human intelligence, like emotional intelligence, and I've already kind of implemented the strategy that I've outlined here, right? I'm doing things in a new but more familiar way. I'm understanding what's in it for my manager, right? I'm teasing him with or her, or see them with certain things that gives them upside, right? So the team can win, right? Like the business would win if we did this. So I'm playing to the view of the manager, just like you should play to the view of your realtor partner or your referral partner, just like you should play to the view of your prospects. Man, I hope that this is making sense, guys. So, why I was so happy to do this live stream about the science of selling is because it's far different from what you can get everywhere else. And I know I started at 7:30 and it's usually we start about 8:30, and sometimes this is too early for you guys to catch. But I need to shift my time or manage my time and shift certain things around so that I can fit everything in some day and all the things that I have to do within a day. And I'm originating right now. I'm taking advantage of this market, and I hope you are too. I'm blessed and I'm fortunate to have the success that I'm having right now. And a lot of it is due to these little nuances. It's these little details. So my real hope is that you could pick apart some of these nuances, some of these details, and actually implement it into your day-to-day. Implement it and put it in place so that you can mirror the results that I, myself, and my team is getting today. So I appreciate all you guys' time for taking a minute or two, or actually an hour, with me on this Thursday morning. Don't forget to check in with the FIF Friday episode tomorrow. It's also going to happen on tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So be sure that you check in. I've sent you an email if you've already signed up for my sales script. If you have not signed up for my sales script, there's a link below this video that'll give you access to it. There'll also be a link to the contest and the chat box. So be sure that you register and you play the game, rack up as many points as you can, because you could ultimately win one of the top 3 courses that are at salesremaster.com. To learn more about it, go to salesremaster.com, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow on the FIF live stream at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for you guys' time. I'll see you later. Bye.